Parshas Shlach. This is a shmuz adapted from a shmuz of Hagoin Reb Chaim Shmulevich Zeichat Tzadik Livrocha. There are times that the Rebbeinu Shalom sends us wake-up calls to be able to straighten ourselves out, to be able to do the right things and not to do the wrong things. There are times that Hashem sends Oinshim v'Yisurim, that sends to a person punishments and afflictions, and that is supposed to help wake up the person that he should straighten out. He's doing something wrong. But how does he know exactly what he's doing wrong? So Hashem, in His infinite kindness, as we will soon see more about in a Rashi that we will soon quote, that Hashem, when He punishes, when He sends afflictions, it's measure for measure. It's something related. The punishment is related in a manner where we could get a hint of something that we did wrong, which is something similar. And once we have that, well, it'll be easier for us to do tshuva, to stop. The second step is where a person does not receive the actual punishment, but somebody else receives the punishment, but the wake-up call is for us to learn, look what that person did, and that's what he's getting punished for. Don't do the same thing. And we see that in the beginning of Parshas Shlach, where Rashi says, Loma nismacha Parshas Meraglim, the Parshas Miriam. Why was the Parsha of Meraglim written right after Parshas Miriam? It really was not in sequence that it happened that way, because Korach really happened before the Meraglim. But Hashem wanted to put the Meraglim right near Miriam, to tell us that Shahoya Lohem Lekachas Musar Me'oinsha, they should have taken Musa from her punishment. Look at Miriam. Miriam, the great Tzaddikus, was punished. She did something wrong. She spoke Lashon Hara against her brother, against Moshe Rabbeinu. So the Meraglim who came and spoke Lashon Hara against Eretz Yisrael, they should have not done that. They should have learned from Miriam, from the punishment of Miriam, who was punished for speaking Lashon Hara. They should have learned that from the punishment of Miriam. So we see this is a second case, a case where the person doing the sin was directly involved, but this person, somebody else was involved. Miriam was involved. Miriam was being punished. But these people, the Meraglim, should have taken Musa from the wake-up call that Hashem sent Miriam. That the wake-up call was for them too, for them. The wake-up call was for them. They should not have sinned the same way Miriam did. Then there's another step about people who sometimes, where the punishment is only for others to learn from, where they themselves cannot learn from it. And that is revealed to us in the pasuk in Bamidbar Yud Dalet pasuk Lamed Zayin in the same Parsha Shlach, where it says that Vayamusu hu anoshim moitziei dibas haaretz, the people who, the Meraglim, who spoke Lashon Hara against Eretz Yisrael, died. Ba Magefa. Rashi explains Ba Magefa, it's like Baha Magefa, with the plague. Which plague? with the plague of that HaKadosh Baruch Hu works with. That when HaKadosh Baruch Hu punishes, in His infinite kindness, He does it in a manner which is midah keneged midah. Ba'oisa midah hahaguna lohem, midah keneged midah, with what should be given to them, because heim chatu b'loshon, they sinned with their tongue, v'nishtavev l'shaynam ad tiburam, and their tongues were elongated until their navel. V'tayloim yotzim l'shaynam uboim l'toyach tiburam, worms came out of their tongues and came into their navel. The Ben Yehoyada explains, what does navel have to do with anything? Navel is a synonym for the center of the world, the center of the person, the center of the world, and that's what Eretz Yisrael is. And the punishment was that they were punished by their tongue until their navel. So we see in what they spoke with their tongues lashon hara, and their tongues were punished. They were afflicted, and we said that that's the kind midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who helps the person out. That we should do tshuva. In how should we know, even if a person gets punishment, how should he know exactly what it's for, which sin he committed? But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in His infinite kindness, punishes the person in a manner where the person can detect, he can discover exactly which sin it is. And that's the way it is in the first case, where we said, where the person himself is punished. Hashem punishes him in a manner where he can detect it himself. And the third case was a case where they couldn't learn anything from it. They were dead. Vayomusu hu anoshim ma'itziei dibei sa'aretz ro bahamagefa. Bahamagefa, they died. They died already, and now their tongues became elongated, and worms were coming out of their tongues, and went to their navel. The navel represents Eretz Yisrael, and the tongues is what? The same manner. They sinned with their tongues, and they were punished with their tongues. That's the infinite kindness of Hashem when a person receives punishment. So this is something that they couldn't learn from because they were not living anymore. The whole purpose, there are times where the punishment comes only to teach others. Klal Yisrael should look and see what happened to them. And for speaking lashon hara, for speaking with their tongues, and that's something that Klal Yisrael had to learn from, others had to learn from. The first case was where the person himself had to learn from it, where he himself was punished for doing something wrong. The second case was where the person himself was not punished, but the teaching is, the lesson is from somebody else being punished. Like Miriam was punished, and the Meraglim should have learned from Miriam that lashon hara is a no-no, and don't speak lashon hara. That Hashem is trying to help us through teaching us, watch others, that they are not allowed to do it, and you have to learn from them. The third case was after they were not living anymore, only for others to learn from. Hashem is trying to help us not to do sins, not to commit averos in all manners. The Eibishter should help us. We should be zeicha to be able to catch on to all these wake-up calls, be able to understand they're for our good, that Hashem is trying to help us, that we shouldn't sin. We should be zeicha to this. Amen v'amen.